Good afternoon, everybody. My name's Kyle Jump, this is Mohammed Gaius, and this is Cody Schreier. And today we're going to talk to you about our heart monitor 2.0.
So, as you guys can see, our product is different from everybody else in the classroom, because instead of focusing on the brain, we focused on the human heart. And the needs were, of course, there because heart disease right now is the #1 cause of death in the United States. And according to the research, we know that it's preventable if we have the if you can monitor it right, we can prevent the heart disease. And the needs, #1 need, or #2 I should say, is the athletes who need to monitor their heart. As I was showing you guys in the video, when you're in the normal range, below your range, the color was blue. While I'm hitting my range, target heart rate, that's where you're having the best cardio workout. It was turning green. And if I would have went like the worst point is it would turn red. And that's when patients would have a cardiac arrest. That's when they would faint out. And that's why there's a big need for products. And patient heart condition that cardiologists recommend that you work out, patients exercise, but they want to measure, like they don't want you to overdo it, because if you overdo it, that's immeasurable. And as I said, most of these watches that I'm wearing on right now, I bought one, they come with chest belts, and like you have to wear them on your skin. And when you're working out, every time it just starts falling down. You can't stick with your body long. And in our product, it's a cheaper version and it's a simple version, but it's still not very convenient. And Kyle, in this process, introduced a YMCA trainer about this product.
So in our interview, I was speaking with her about something that would be useful in their program as training their clients. And one of the things they found most necessary was something to monitor their heart rate range. Obviously, like Mohammed said, it's important that you stay within a certain range, not go over it, and that way you're not overdoing it, but if you're under it, you're not getting a proper workout. So she needed something that we could, tell them, okay, when it turns green, you're in your optimal target heart rate range, and this is where you need to be for a proper workout. And so this is what led us to this product design. So our approach to this design was coming up with a simplistic watch-style band. Microchip, the lights, the battery source, and then would have the wires out to the sensor. So as you can see here, we have a wristband here with our box with the Arduino Uno in it, which is programming the LED lights. This top light shows you when you're in your target heart rate. So blue would be when you're below range, green is when you're in range, and red is above. And then this light on the end here flashes red to your pulse, so you can see when it's actively working. Sometimes there's miscommunication within the sensor, so we put this light on so that you can see that it was correctly working. So this was our design as a prototype, and hopefully in the future we would like to, obviously make it way more compact, use a smaller microchip. One of the design flaws we had with this is the circuitry without being able to put it on a circuit board. Sometimes had an issue with the soldering and things like that, so sometimes it tends to flash a little bit weird and issues like that, but hopefully in the future product we'll be able to fix that and make it smooth and compact and very ergonomic. And then Cody's going to talk about the benefits of this.
Right, so obviously there's a lot of benefits like Mohammed was saying earlier. This is for like athletes trying to find their target heart rate when they're running all or working out. It's not just for athletes, you can use this on a normal basis. This can be for any person, any age, for medical reasons. In some cases of certain heart diseases, you don't really have a warning basically. Your heart rate just drops way low, and after that, you pass out. But this, it's not going to set off an alarm or anything, but it'll definitely give you at least a warning before it happens, so at least you can sit down or something, lay down. If it's going to happen, tell someone. There are a lot more benefits than just using it as your target heart rate. Also, it's really cheap. Compared to, like what the video said, compared to other competitors, Polar, Kyle, all these other competitors, they're like $70 to $300. That's what we're looking at, and this works out to be, $30 to $40. It's very cheap, very effective, very simple. Anyone can use it. lighting up. It tell you your heart rate, tell you how many beats you're going at. Very simple.
So watches that we're talking about are really expensive as our competition. The thing that they have extra is all this caloric intake, the calories you're taking, stuff that Mrs. Jones doesn't really care about. A patient with heart disease, do not really care about as much. Whereas this thing right here, they care about that because that's what is telling them that, hey, you don't even have to be on a treadmill for this to be able to read your heart rate. You can do this if you can just wear this, and we'll try to come up with new ways to make this more compatible. So just sitting at home doing laundry, and Mrs. Jones as our customer, she or she can just know that, hey, their heart is proper now, and that's fine. And our goal for the future is to program a mini Arduino and so make it as this watch, and everything will be in it. And that'll make it the price we're looking at right now, this will be less than $50, even with all of our improvements. And the product is ready to use. The program we made was open source code, and we had to make some changes to it. But everything works. We tested it in the video and testing it for the last couple of days.
Thank you very much.
Yep. You guys have any questions? Or?
It uses the pulse. So you have this on.
Correct. So inside of here, there's a pulse sensor. We just made this easier so that it would stay on your finger at all times. So there's the pulse sensor, as you can see there, and then you put your finger in there. And with doing so, by wearing that, you're able to. It flashes to your pulse, and then you know that it's
So I can explain here. So what it does, it has two things to it. One is a photon blaster, another one is a sensor. LED is the photon blaster. You have your finger in it, and the finger has capillary tissues, right? The blood, it contains the blood, and the LED goes through your skin, and it gets to that capillary tissue, and then it comes back to the sensor. And as your heart rate is higher, there's going to be more blood in your capillary tissues. So that's how it creates the wavelength for this sensor to be read by the Arduino and produce the pulse.
Any other questions?
If I want to jog, it's not. If I'm moving a lot, that's not really fit for it. I might fall or not function.
No.
But this is just the prototype. Like in the actual one with the watch, the one that we're actually looking to get.
That would be closed.
So it's going to be.
This is closed. Everything's set up. Everything's
And you had that strap to your finger, that's why we made the strap so that it would not fall off.
When we were testing it, he was running on the treadmill with it, so we were able to.
I think that cost number that you got is going to go much higher when you start to miniaturize. As soon as you start to miniaturize, those costs are going to.
We actually started out with a mini Arduino, and when we were looking online, it was like a buck each, maybe a buck each, and we got we bought in bulk of 10 mini Arduinos for like $5. So there's
Mini Arduinos are cheaper than the Uno. This is an expensive version.
yeah,
So if you make it
Arduino
small,
Uno.
it's gonna reduce cost.
So the idea is this is made easy for prototyping. Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's a different.
Original approach was to cram with a small shell.
When we were doing the mini Arduino, there's a different code set up for it, and we couldn't get all the codes completely right. We got almost all of it, and then we couldn't get that timer on.
We're setting correctly with the mini Arduino, so that's where we had our fault. So we had to resort to the Arduino. It just made it silly to stick in this year.
For our prototype, this works exactly what we want for, and
And in the future, we can even use this wire and have it wireless sensor sending the signal to the mini Arduino as this watch. So you don't need a chest belt. Like every product I looked at has this chest belt. Completely
But you have to wear this, right?
it has to be a sensor somewhere.
it can be to your ear even.
Yeah, you could.
As long as it's
measurement right here.
we could, we just couldn't hook it up to this. We were planning on it just because we had this with us.
It would not fit on this sensor, but
Actually, Professor to all these sensors, so we didn't want to cut cords on it, open it up, and so.
Yeah.
Like what shape? How do they make the measurement? What is the sensor?
The sensor would be
Communication products like they use in the watch, the Timex for example. Do they use a chest strap or do they have it between?
I bought this for like $150, and it came with a chest belt, which I did not know about.
Most of them are all Bluetooth, and that's how that works.
This cannot.
Any of the type that's just a wristwatch, you actually have to place your fingers on top of. But it only gives you, who wants to run like this the entire time as you're trying to get your pulse. Whereas this was taking a constant measure of your pulse while you were running. So, like I said, it's a very rough prototype, but at the same time, if we had more time and resources, we would be able to.
We'll definitely keep working on this.
Thank you very much.
Yep. Thank you guys.
Thank you for your time.